Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a big list of all of the tools, both free and paid, that I use. So if you guys are interested in business, working online, traveling full-time, be sure to subscribe to this channel. There's a ton of videos about all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to try and get through this video really fast because this list is big and I don't want it to get out of hand. So first, I'm going to tell you about all the free tools that I use and I absolutely love. And of course, that will be linked in the description box. The first one is a Gmail plugin called Boomerang, which is a tool that means you can delay sending emails. So sometimes I will write an email at midnight, but I want it to go at 1 p.m. so that people open it. So I will hit send, but it will be delayed and it will send at the time that I've specified. Or maybe I want to follow up with someone in a couple of days. I'll write the follow-up email now and then leave it to send nearer the time. So I use that a lot. It's free. It just plugs into Gmail. Next is Revolut. This is the banking card that I use. We do actually pay for the premium version of this because it gets you a few perks that we find useful, like it includes travel insurance. But Revolut is amazing. It is a startup bank, which is really great for travelers. I believe you have to be British or at least have a British address that you can have it sent to. But it's a bank card which charges no fees on transfers and withdrawals, and you can use it. I just use my debit card as if I'm a local pretty much anywhere in the world. I just use it to pay for things, even if they cost $1. I'm not in that situation now where I'm having to take out like hundreds in cash because of the ATM fees. I just have an international card, which is amazing. Next is UnrollMe, which is a tool to collect your emails together. I believe they're having some trouble at the moment with Europe because of the new privacy data stuff that came in. So I don't know if it's entirely available, but if you can get it, I highly recommend it. What you do is all the subscriptions of mailing lists and stuff that you do want, but you don't want pinging into your inbox and distracting you, it collates them all into one email per day. So yeah, all the things like updates and mailing lists and promotional emails that you don't want to unsubscribe from but you want to have collected, it puts them together and you just get one email a day with those in, which saves me so much distraction. So now my inbox is just people who I know and who are urgent. Next is Facebook FeedEradicator. This for me is such a game changer, and what it is that when I log on to Facebook on my computer, that front page, the infinite scroll of doom, is blacked out and it just has a motivational quote. So I can still use Facebook to message people, to look at events, or to look in groups. I use Facebook a lot in my workday without it being procrastination. But the scrolling feed is just like a vortex of time. As soon as that comes up, before you know it, I'm scrolling and gone. I do still have it on my phone because sometimes you want to look on the feed, you want to see what people are doing, you want to see who's got engaged, you want to see people's dog photos, all that stuff. But when I'm on my computer, I'm working and so I don't need it there, and that tool for me is incredible and it's free. Next is BidIQ. This is a free plugin. They do have a premium version, which I at the moment don't pay for, but you can if you want. And this is for YouTube creators. So it's a pop-up alongside any YouTube video that you watch, and it will tell you how many views that gets, what tags they've used, how much money that video is making, as an estimate, and it gives you a lot of inside information like that about how they rank in SEO, all that kind of stuff, so that you can use that to learn about your own YouTube videos and how to perform better. BidIQ also has a really good YouTube channel that give a ton of practical tips for creators, so I'll include that in the description box as well. Next is Email Hunter. This is a free tool where you can try and find out people's email addresses. So if you want to contact a journalist or a customer service agent or something like that, you can find their profile or their name. I think this links with LinkedIn, and then it will try and get you their email address. So if it knows that it's firstname.surname@google.com, then it will try and create the email address for you so that you can get in touch with them. If they have their email listed on their website or somewhere else public, then it will manage to get the email for you and then you can contact them directly. Another one is Fireshot screen capture. If I'm trying to, obviously you can just screenshot your computer, but if you're trying to capture like a whole web page or an article or something that has a scroll, so it's more than just what you can fit on your screen and do as a screenshot, then this will scroll down and capture the whole website like all as one JPEG. So I use this a lot for if I need to capture like an article I've been featured in or a blog post that I want to share with someone, then you can screenshot the whole thing and it saves it as a JPEG. I also use Google Alerts for my own name because I am that vain person who does that. So I would recommend setting up a Google Alert for your name or your business or whatever you're doing. And also sometimes it's hilarious because something will come up that's not about you, but just someone with the same name, and you can be like, oh cool, we have the same name and you're in a folk band. So I always have Google Alerts set up for things that I'm particularly interested in. And then it means if a new article is posted or anything online appears with that name or those keywords in, then you get an email which will forward you to the website so you can see it. Discovery for me is the app called A Tracker. I think I'm going to do a whole separate video about my new work structure and productivity and how I'm trying to fit my work into less hours so I have more time for leisure. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in all that kind of stuff. But I've been using A Tracker for timing my work. So I'm trying to make myself really focused. So what it is you have several different like tasks that you can choose, and then it's just a timer. So I just press go when I start working on one of my businesses, and then I'll pause it to like go and get food, and then I'll start go when I start working on my YouTube videos. And it means that you can see where you're spending your time. And for me, I just find it really motivating. If there's a timer, I'm like, man, I better work because I'm on the clock. And it kind of gives me that like office environment, which is quite hard to simulate when you're self-employed. So I really like it for timing my work and making me super focused. And then looking back and I'm like, wow, I only worked for an hour today. Where did the rest of my time go? You know, was I just procrastinating on YouTube? And it gives you a bit of perspective with kind of some statistics so you can see how much you're working, where you're spending your time. It's a really interesting like self-reflection on how you spend your day. Next are the apps which I use to edit my photos. I use Lightroom, which is free on mobile. I use Snapseed, which is free on mobile. Both of those are for editing, like playing with the colors and stuff like that. If you want a video about how I edit my Instagrams, let me know, because that's a whole nother thing. And then I also do pay for one, which is called Retouch, where you just click on stuff and it deletes it. So if there's lots of people, or there's an ugly car, or there's some litter on the floor, or there's a bird flying in that's ruining the sky or whatever, you can like swipe over it and it will delete it. You can do that on Snapseed, but it doesn't work as well. Like Retouch works really, really well. So that's a sneaky paid one that I've put into this free list because I wanted to put it with Lightroom and Snapseed. So those are what I use to edit my Instagrams. I do also pay for some presets. I use Aggie's presets. She's called Travel in Her Shoes on Instagram and she's awesome. Again, those are paid, but I will link to them in the description if you'd like to check them out. The next free one that I have is Linktree. This you will have probably seen on my Instagram profile. So on Instagram, you can only have one link in your description. And if you're anything like me, you want to link to a bunch of different things. I want to link to my YouTube, but also my Twitter, but also what presets I use, but also a particular video. And Linktree is great for that because it's just one link. And then when they click on it, you get a selection of like different trees or like links that you can follow. So it's a really cool way to be able to include multiple different links, and it's also much easier to change. So some people have maybe a giveaway running, so you can just add that in as one of the links temporarily, or you can include a link to your most recent YouTube video. I really like it. It's totally free. Another recent, and then a final one for my Instagram is Photo Timer Plus. I've actually done a whole video about how I use this app to take my Instagrams, but basically it's just a delayed timer, so it will take 10 photos at 3-second intervals, so that you can get like a bunch of different poses without having an Instagram husband there to press the button for you. I also use Social Blade a lot, which is a website where you can see how many subscribers people have over time. You can see like their growth. You can also see estimates of how much their channel is making. And the thing that I use it most for is it predicts your trajectory of when you're going to hit particular subscriber milestones. So it will say, based on your current growth, you will have 100,000 subscribers by 10 years time or 1 week time. And you can also compare your channel to other channels and see if they're growing faster or slower, or you can look at a channel's history and see like, oh, they had a really big bump at this particular time when they did that video or when they got featured on that person's channel. So it's really interesting that you can see so much behind the scenes on other people's channels, and then you can learn from what they've done that worked well. And then the final two are ones which I will include links to, which are affiliate links, so I get money back and you get a discount if you use them. The first one is Transferwise. We use this a lot to send money abroad. If you're sending big amounts, like when we paid our rent in Australia, you know, we had to send a large amount of Australian dollars from England. You can send it through Transferwise. It's really quick and you get an incredible rate. So it will save you a lot of money compared to sending it between banks. It's much easier and it's much cheaper. So we use that a lot for like big amounts. And then the other one is Airbnb, which you guys have probably heard of, but I'm always amazed when people say to me that they've never used Airbnb. We use this for booking 90% of our accommodation when we travel. So Airbnb is, you can stay in local people's homes, or now a lot of them are professionals as well. I'm in an Airbnb right now. It's generally cheaper than a hotel, and I think it's just better because you're in an apartment, so you get a kitchen and a washing machine and all these things that you don't get in a hotel. So I much prefer it. You normally are staying in like a residential area of town, so you feel like you're much more local, and a lot of the time you are renting from local people, so you get to meet them. They're really passionate about their city. Maybe they'll show you around. And if you're a solo traveler, it's really awesome because we're a couple, we always rent like the whole apartment, but you can just rent a room and then you're like living with somebody else. So then you're living with this local person and you immediately have access to their whole network of people, all the bars that they love, all the friends that they have. So if you're solo traveling, Airbnb is incredible for that. But if you're traveling in a group or a couple like we are, it's still what we always use because it's so easy, and it means that you can pay for the exact number of days. Like if we're trying to book an apartment through like a rental website, then you have to do 2 or 3 months at a time. It has to be calendar months. Whereas on Airbnb, we can stay like 27 days or 46 days, like an exact number of days. So although sometimes it's more expensive than booking like a 6-month apartment on a local website, it gives you so much more flexibility. So that we love, and if you use the link below, then you get some money off. Another recent discovery for me is Macari, and this is a shopping app. It has clothes and accessories, but I mostly use it for buying beauty. I obviously love buying stuff on eBay, but on eBay you're not allowed to sell beauty if it's not brand new, like unopened. And obviously you don't want to be buying secondhand mascara or lipstick or whatever, but I really want to try lots of different face masks and oils and things that are pretty expensive. And on Macari you can buy it really cheaply. So it's just normal people selling like on eBay, but the stuff is really cheap, and also it includes the postage, which is nice. So it's not like on eBay where it's 99p but then the postage is £6. So the price you see just is the price you get. And you can also make people offers. So if it's £25, you can message them within the app and say, would you take 21? And I really like it. I've just bought a ton of stuff on there. And again, if you use the link in the description, then you get a bit of money off. And now onto the paid ones. There's only 7 of these, so this section will be much quicker. But the first one is Photoshop. I use Photoshop to make my thumbnails. I use it quite often for work, and these days you pay for Photoshop on a monthly subscription. I also use Final Cut Pro to edit these videos, and that is software that you have to pay for. You can definitely get started with the free ones, either iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, depending on what kind of computer you use. But for me, Final Cut has so much more capabilities with like fonts and split screens and editing the colors, like all kinds of stuff. So I find it really worth it, but you definitely don't need it when you're just starting out. I also use TunnelBear, which is a VPN. So if I need to pretend my location is somewhere else, so for example, if I want to buy something on an English website, then it gives me all the prices in Bulgarian lev, because that's where I am right now. And if I want to look like I'm in the UK, so it gives it to me in pounds, then you use a VPN to like spoof your location. But you can also use it for privacy. So if you are in an internet cafe cafe and you're doing private things like online banking, then you can use a VPN to like protect your data. So I do pay for a VPN, and my favorite one is TunnelBear because it has the most ridiculously adorable animations. You just have to go look at the website even if you don't need a VPN, because it's the best marketing I've ever seen. I also pay for Dropbox. I use this to store all of my Udemy courses so that if I'm uploading it onto a new website or I need to share it with someone, I can just share the Dropbox link. And I also use it to back up all of the photos on my phone. So my phone auto syncs with Dropbox so that if my phone ever gets lost or stolen or broken, I have all the photos backed up into my Dropbox. I also pay for a workout app called Gixo. This is kind of like live classes with almost like a personal trainer. I will include a link to it in the description, but I've also done a whole video about how to stay fit as a nomad. So you can see a lot more about it in that video. I do a demo and all that kind of stuff, but I really love Gixo. And again, if you use the link in the description box, there's already a free trial, but you also get money off or a longer free trial, and I get money as well. So if you're gonna buy it, please buy it with my link. I also pay for Spotify because it means that you can use it on lots of devices in lots of countries, and you can download music. So if you're traveling, then you can have the music offline. So I pay for Spotify so that I don't have the ads and I can download the music for when I'm on a really long flight and I need my playlists. And finally, last of all, I pay for Headspace, which is a meditation app. So I'm meditating every day at the moment, and I pay for Headspace so that I can continue to do that. I love it because it's like guided meditation. So if, like me, you find it very hard to just sit and clear the thoughts out of your mind, I find that almost impossible. So I really like Headspace because it walks you through it and it tells you what you should be thinking about and what you should be relaxing and all that kind of stuff. And it also has specific packs, so you can do 10 days about stress or 10 days about anxiety, or you can do a sleep pack which helps you get to sleep. There's tons of different stuff that they have, and I really like it. And they also do the first 7 days, I think, are free, so you can do free 7 days to get started, see if you even like it, and then if you want to pay, I absolutely love it. So guys, if you are still here, congratulations, you just got through a mammoth video. I really hope that you've discovered some amazing tools in that list. This is a list I've been working on for years, collecting all the best things that I love and that help me be more productive and work better. For me, they are all game-changing, so I really hope there's been some good ones in there for you. Like I said, they'll all be linked in the description box. Some of them have discounts, some of them also give me some money if you use them. None of them here are sponsored, although I'd be open to sponsorship from all of these because they're all apps that I love. But I really hope you found that useful. Best of luck on your nomad journey and on your productivity. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing week for you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!